All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing his gospel and truth and sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is Brother Quanah Watts from Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point. And here we go, man. Right, these tariffs being, put on the U.S., Canada, and China. As you see right here on NBC News, it says, here's what could get more expensive under Trump's tariffs, which we know, that inflation, right, is ultimately taking hold as of right now. But see, it's prophesied that hyperinflation was going to happen. Let's go ahead and grab that real quick in Revelations, the 6th chapter, and verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse. It's like verse 6, right? Verse 6, it says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou heard not the oil and the wine. Now let's go ahead and jump over to NLT. It says, and I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings saying, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, right? And when you go back into the word penny in the KJV, right, a measure of wheat for a penny, it goes a denarius, right? Denarion, right? Strong's G 1220, a denarion, right? And when we read it, right, it says denarius, right, containing 10. It says a Roman silver coin in New Testament time. It took its name as it being equal to 10 asses, right? That's the day's wage, right, for a Roman centurion, right, Roman soldier, right? Back in the ancient Roman Empire, right? So that's basically what it is, right? 10 asses. Now you ultimately look at that today, right? 10 asses, right? Let's say an ass costs $1,000, right? Well, that's $10,000, man. For just to buy an ass, right? A donkey, and that's just to put it in perspective. But nonetheless, right? It's saying a measure of wheat, right? Basically a loaf of bread, right? For a day's wage. Some brothers make anywhere from $150 to $250 a day, right? Sometimes more, Sometimes bros make $350 a day, man, depending on the job, depending on the hours and whatnot, right? Which is a lot, man. That's a lot. That's basically what it's talking about. It's talking about hyperinflation, and with these tariffs, right? That Trump just imposed on Canada, China, and Mexico, right? It's going to skyrocket prices here in America. Right, and I was talking to a bro, the brother Yawana, man. I was talking to him a little bit earlier, and he was saying that those 3 countries basically make up, right, 40% of America's imports, right, from consumer goods to, from electronics, foods, water, so on and so forth, all the way to even, construction materials, right, lumber, steel, so on and so forth, the automotive industry, all these different industries, right, are going to be heavily affected by these tariffs that are now being placed on these countries. And see, the American people are going to feel it, and that's all I wanted to, read on that. I want to get back to this article. It says, President Donald Trump has imposed sweeping tariffs on America's largest trading partners, raising the prospect that a host of everyday goods could become more expensive for U.S. consumers. Right, it says just after midnight, 25% duties came into effect against Canada and Mexico. An additional 10% levy was imposed on Chinese goods on top of another 10% tariff that took effect in February. So he basically doubled China's tariffs, right? And put a 25% tariff on, China and Canada. It says a lower 10% duty was placed on Canadian energy imports. It says the U.S. imports billions of dollars worth of goods from those nations across a range of sectors. Among the common Mexican imports that may see price increases, it says cars, fruits, vegetables, beer, liquor, and electronics, which are heavy, right? Mexico's right there, you know. These are all things that, are brought in, daily, weekly, monthly. It's a consistent flow, right? A lot of those things are going to stop, right? It says, and from Canada, potatoes, grains, lumber, and steel, right? It says EY chief economic, and which is, a heavy one is oil, right? We get a lot of oil from Canada, right? It says EY chief economist Gregory Daco said last month that agricultural products as a major category of trade between the U.S., China, and Mexico will be among the products most directly affected by any new duties, right? So we're talking about food, grains, potatoes, starches, so on and so forth. All those different things are going to be highly affected because of this tariff, right? Which people are already having issues, right? People are already, myself, my family's pretty big. We eat the 60 count eggs, right? The boxes, right? Well, those we're talking about in 3 months, right? From last I want to say November, December, they were at like $21, right? 21, 22. Now they're all the way at $31, $33 in some places, man. Right? That's huge, right? That's leaning towards hyperinflation, right? That's major inflation, but we're talking about we're coming into a time where there's going to be hyperinflation, man. It says on Tuesday morning, Target CEO Brian Cornell warned produce items at the big box retailer may see price increases. Target relies heavily on Mexican produce during the winter months, he said, and the tariffs could force the company to raise prices on fruits and vegetables as soon as this week. So this is not a delayed reaction, right? This is something that's going to take place very quickly, right? Lord will this happens, very quickly, man. We're seeing that, Trump and his administration, they're not playing no games, man. Right? Which really is Yahweh Shem El Shai, Proverbs 21:1, right? From looking at it from a higher perspective. But, nonetheless, right? There's no games being played on any, by anyone, right? It says, Cornell said prices could rise for produce like strawberries, avocados, and bananas. Those are categories where we'll try to protect pricing, but the consumer will likely see price increases over the next couple of days, he told CNBC in an interview after Target released its fourth quarter earnings. If there's a 25% tariff, those prices will go up. Best Buy CEO Corey Berry issued a similar warning Tuesday, noting China and Mexico are the company's top two supply chain sources. So again, it's not just food. Right, we're talking about electronics, TVs, computers, everything that you can think of, headphones, so on and so forth. All those things, phones are going to go up. And we'll skip this. Right here, it says with deeply intertwined automotive supply chains between the three countries, cars and auto parts are likely to get pricier to bring into the U.S. too. S&S Automotive Services. Cars in Secaucus, New Jersey, where owner Keith Scargalloni said tariffs would likely make the cost of parts like oil filters more expensive, making even routine fixes costlier for consumers. Oil changes mainly, that'll be the first noticeable one. An average oil change on most vehicles is now anywhere between $50 to $80, right? Which here in Arizona, you know what I mean. You almost can't find a an oil change under $100 already, right? But past like year and some change, it's been like that. 2 years, it's been like that. The only way you can get a cheap, oil change is on like apps like Groupon or Retail Me Not. You buy them and they're already discounted, but even then, those prices are going to shoot up to regular prices when these tariffs get imposed, right? Which they're already imposed, but when it comes down the line, right? When we start to actually see those numbers increase, It says it's probably going to end up over $100. Scaglione said in an interview before the tariffs were imposed, it says tariffs could be the beginning of a policy war with tariff rates at risk of racketing as affected countries retaliate. You know, and I'm not going to read all this. Yeah, I'll read this last paragraph right here. It says, already Canada announced phased levies on a total of $107 billion worth of U.S. goods in response to Trump's moves, though it has not specified exactly which items they would apply to. China, meanwhile, said it would soon impose tariffs as high as 15% on American agricultural products, including chicken, wheat, corn, cotton, sorghum, soybeans, pork, beef, seafood, fruits, vegetables, and dairy products. So basically everything that we eat. Everything, man. This is the time that we're coming. Shit's about to hit the fan, man, real quick. You know, and this is why, you know, the prophets, right? The true prophets, Yahweh, Shemel, Shah, beginning with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down, right? For decades, man, have been saying what? Repent before it's too late. You know? Repent before it's too late, right? What is that? Ecclesiastes 12. Right, we'll go to that real quick, and then we'll jump to the second address. Ecclesiastes, where is that? 12 and verse 1, it says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. So before they come, right? And we're looking at some very evil times, man, right? About to approach, right? It says, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, right? So we'll close that, and we'll go to this second address 16, because again, this is talking about the times that we're coming into, right? Second address 16 and 1, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. And see, this is going to cause, you know, a famine, right? These tariffs being placed, prices going up, you know, meaning, you know, because it's going to go all the way back, right? Which means people are not going to be able to, you know, purchase a lot more food, which means stores are not going to be receiving as much, you know, cash flow, right, coming in, right, from the consumer, which means they're not going to be able to pay these trucks as, you know, that are coming in. So it's going to be less and less trucks coming in because, again, consumers are purchasing less. That's how these businesses stay afloat. The consumer buying their product, right, at whatever price, they take their portion off the top and they pay their trucks, their warehouses, and so on and so forth, the cargo ships, and so on and so forth, the trains, to bring the product in, to continue to have some type of cash flow. But see, when prices go up, people are going to be buying less, which means these big major companies are going to be, you know, spending less on trucks, bringing food in, which means eventually the shit's going to roll downhill, man. It's a process, right? You have to understand how the things work, how America moves, how the consumer works, how these places get stocked. And when shit push comes to shove, these stores only have about 2 to 3 days max of reserves, man, within their actual store itself. But see, we're already seeing these stores on certain products they're not being able to put out their reserves, man. You know, especially with the bird flu going on and so on and so forth, chicken and eggs and, you know, are being affected heavily, man. You know, in any kind of, you know, baking product, right, that takes eggs, those are all being bought less and less. Why? Because prices for eggs, prices for milk, prices for chicken and so on, dairy products, period, is going up. You know, well, how much more across the board? You know, when it's not just eggs, it's not just chicken, but it's even your water, right? Even your bread, right? As we just read in Revelation, the 6th chapter, the 6th verse, man. Hyperinflation is prophesied to take place, and we're going to see it, you know, here soon, right? I'll read again, verse 18. It says, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, right? Great death. Because what comes with famine? Starvation. You know? You're going to start to see a lot of fucking people, man, fucking just, crime is going to skyrocket, man. Second Edge, the 15th chapter, man. People are going to be breaking into people's homes. People are going to be stealing food, you know, because of lack of bread and for great tribulation, man. Right? It says the beginning of wars and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, right? Evil meaning bad, right? Bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Right, man. What are you gonna do? Right? Because we see it's coming, right? It's not about if, right? It's a matter about when. And see, we're starting to look down the barrel of when. it could be within the next couple weeks, right? The next couple weeks, you can start to see, prices skyrocket, right? Which means what? There's going to be uproars of the people because, see, when this happens, right, people are already irritated. People are already frustrated. People are already making videos about them sitting in their cars, crying, videos at home of them and going over their bills and going over. People are fucking feeling that damn pressure, man, already. And prices are going to go up. That's going to cause people to riot, man. That's going to cause people to, wig out, right? As we read in Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. And when you go into that word wicked in the blue letter, it goes back to laborers, which laborers is going into these everyday people, such as myself, right? I do construction, I feel the pressure too, man. We all feel the pressure, man. We're all feeling that pressure, man, in our pockets and whatnot. Nobody is exempt, Everybody's feeling it. But see, the difference is we understand why this is happening. These people out here, they don't understand why it's happening, These people are still trying to figure out, hey, fuck, I got to pay this, I got to pay this, I got to pay this. Well, I got to cheat on a bill on here. Maybe I'll pay half here and then pay the half later. But you know what I mean? I need to spend that money on food and so on and so forth. These people are in a very, very, very fucked up predicament, man. And it's only going to continue to get worse. And Lord will, we be of that number. See, we straight, man. Because when all hell is breaking loose, we're going to be applying the scriptures to the best of our ability. As it says in Sirach, the 2nd chapter, make not haste in the time of trouble. Also tells you right here in Psalms, the 46th chapter, and verse 10. I'll start at verse 8. It says, come, behold the works of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai. What desolation hath he made in the earth? He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, he cutteth the spear in asunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire, right? The Lord is the one that, creates evil and makes peace, as we read in Isaiah, the 45th chapter, man. The Lord does all these things, right? And we're seeing the Lord work, right? We're seeing the Lord start to fuck America up, right? Severely, man, right? Because her sins have reached up to heaven. The Lord is tearing this place down, And it's about time, man. Call Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah, But see, as we see all these things happening, I think in Psalms, the 112th chapter, we're not going to be afraid of evil tidings. Evil tidings meaning bad news, right? This is bad news to the average, man. But see, we're not afraid of that. Why? Because we trust in Yahweh Shemel Shah, Lord said he will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed upon the Lord, man. Well, see, we straight, man. Lord, will we be of that number? But I got this, verse 10. It says, be still and know that I am the Most High. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. So, hey, we chilling, man. Right? We're not going to wig out. We're not going to flip out. We're going to sit there and trust in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem El Shai, and watch the Lord get glorified by these different, judgments he's pouring out. Right? We see what's going on with Al-Azhar. Right? We see what's going on with America, how the 10 horns are gearing up to hate the whore. Right? We're seeing, them basically push to, a genocide over there in Israel, with the Palestinians, and you got Israel over there trying to invade in South Syria, which is ultimately going to spiral into, again, World War III, right? The least of the flock shall draw them out, which is the small hats, right? Those are the least of the flock, and America's backing them, right? A lot of events are taking place as of right now, man. You know, and you got to ultimately keep your eye on prophecy, keep your eye on the things that are happening in the world, man, so that way you're not caught, unawares, man. You know, a lot of shit is taking place, man, and we're in the time where these last few prophecies are going to come to pass. You know, Jacob's trouble, World War III, and the deliverance and destruction in that order, man. You know. But again, Lord, will we be of that number, man? We ain't got nothing to worry about, man. When push comes to shove, these tariffs get imposed and prices go up and food starts being scarce, right, as we read in 2 Ezra 6 chapter, right, that the full storehouses shall suddenly appear empty, right? When all this starts to take place, these people wigging out, running into these stores, panic buying, and so on and so forth, and the Lord is going to make sure that we good, man. Right, just as he furnished a table in the wilderness, right, he's going to do it again for us. Lord, will we be of that number, man? And we'll grab this in Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, and we'll close out. Isaiah 33 and verse 15, it says, he that walketh righteously, right, which, the scriptures, right, as we read in 2 Timothy 3 and 16, the scriptures, the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai, instructions in righteousness, right? So those that are ultimately following the scriptures to the best of their ability, right, this is who it's talking about, right? He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, right? He that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ear from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil, which goes back to, the attitude that Job had, man. Eschewed evil, man. Eschewed evil, right? However you want to say it, right? Basically meaning he put that shit far away from him, man. He hated that shit, and that's how we have to be, man. We have to, ultimately put all that shit away, man, and walk according to the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai to the best of our ability, right? And in doing so, this will happen. Verse 16, it says, he shall dwell on high, his place of defense shall be the munition of rocks, bread shall be given him, his waters shall be sure. So we're going to be protected, right? We're going to have that covering around us, right? The angels around us, right? And the Lord is going to allow us to be fed, allow us to stay hydrated in the times where nobody has water, nobody has food, man. Right? A famine doesn't mean that there's no food, no water anywhere. It just means that there's an extreme shortage of, man. And with all the elites recalling all the different, the food and, so on and so forth, right? The millions of food being recalled. Hey, there's almost no food, man, that's going to be left, man. So that's aiding in that as well, man. So hey, as long as we continue to trust and believe in Yahweh Shemel Shai, we're going to be good. And I'll read this last verse. It says, thine eyes shall see the king in his beauty. They shall behold the land that is very far off. Meaning we're going to be put in our land, man. We're going to see Yahweh Shai. He's going to be glorified. Lord, will we be of the elect? We're going to be glorified with him. And guess what? We're going to be in our own land. Being on top, being in rulership, man. And this is what everything is leading up to, man. We just got to stay prayed up, man. Continue to watch, continue to stay in the spirit as much as possible, man. And Lord we'll continue to watch this bitch fall, and we'll continue to watch, the kingdom of Yahweh Shemel Shai rise. So with that, Lord will is edifying. Lord will straight to the point. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash, double honors to the elder apostles of the bishops of Great Millstone. Till next time, I say shalom.